What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 realistic AI-only world battle. We've got 3 episodes of, I don't know what we're going to call it, regulation time, I don't know. The normal amount of time before the winner, well, not so importantly the winner, but second, third, fourth, all the good positions still available are decided. And that was pretty... What just happened? What am I missing? Oh, Egypt retook their city. I was very confused because Egypt obviously only just took this city not that long ago. So no, they didn't actually. They had it the whole time. It was this one. That just got me really confused. But there we go. But yeah, until we find out like who's come second, third, fourth, first place is already in the bag. It's sealed. Mongolia's not letting it slip away, I'm afraid. But that's okay. That's fine. My voice. You can... Oh, I don't even know. Great. I'm just cut out for this, aren't I? This is perfect. I don't know what it is, but oh wow, that was quick. Thebes is gonna fall. It looked like they were gonna grab these cities first, but all of a sudden, boom, very quick change. I think Egypt may not be making it out of this episode, at least in North Africa. They might still be in Europe. They're actually still trying to attack Byzantium, which is only going to help Arabia, by the way. If these artillery keep destroying units, they damage Constantinople enough. This Arabian artillery is finally getting close enough. Maybe there's a chance Constantinople will also fall and the Byzantines will be banished to Iceland. Assume they can hold on in Iceland. The Arabia's here as well. They don't really have much, so it should be fine. I think the Iroquois would probably have to kick them out of Iceland. I imagine the UK could do it too, but they're obviously pretty busy at the moment, defending against, I think, the Iroquois. Pretty sure they were at war, and still are. And Russia is obviously sort of on the fence, and now they've only got one tile to go through. I don't really see that happening. That was a very, very smart citadel placement from the Huns, although it does sort of make the game a bit more boring, so we've got to consider it. Yeah, boring move from the Huns. They've just blocked Russia's chances of taking Paris, which would have been... that would have been cool if Russia just had like 3 European capitals pretty much in a line. Vienna, Paris, Warsaw, push on down to Madrid and Rome, and they would have had almost all of them. That would have been quite impressive, but doesn't look like we're going to get that anytime soon. The big war in India continues to go on, and at the moment Persia is putting up one heck of a brave fight. They're probably not going to get Sri Lanka back, but the rest of it, they're probably going to hold on to this stuff now, potentially. It just comes to when the peace deal is, who's got the cities when it happens, I think. But yeah, Persia's definitely held them off. I imagine they've taken a lot more losses though. They seem very stretched out now. This might be the limits for what they're capable of. I mean, compared to the rest of the world, it won't look too bad because they can rebuild pretty quickly still. They're huge, lots of good cities over here. But yeah, obviously compared to Mongolia, who probably have more than what they started with at this point, it's a little bit of a different ball game. So they've done fantastic. We've got the Pentagon for the Cree, nice little wonder in North America, so that's kind of cool. At least some of them are relatively close. 20, how did you get that city to 29 in the tundra? I didn't even notice. 26, 24, 26, 24. This is definitely the most populated sort of little area within the Great Wall of the Cree. I assume the Cree built this, it may have even been built by someone else and stretched away, but the fact it's a circle around their capital, yeah, I imagine this is like the most populated sort of tiles, very dense, lots of people. Mongolia's got some big area. Like, here's very populated, this whole area, even though it's a bigger area, probably more people actually, down to Kazan here. Even down into Southeast Asia, 15, 12, 7. Yeah, Mongolia very populated too. Won't forget about them. Sorry, Mongolia. Don't hate me. I won't forget about you again. Right. You guys... Oh, Corral. It's close. It's very close to them losing their capital. It'll be a very sad day. And the Cree getting a little bit more hold in South America. They did... Obviously, this was their city initially. I think the Iroquois took it off them and then Mongolia took it off the Iroquois. It wasn't direct between the two of them. Britain pieced out with Persia because that was obviously, that was the civ Persia was really scared of. Let's see, are we going to get 3 cities fall in one turn? No. Probably 2. Takes a while to load. Okay. Is it just, did they do nothing in their turn? Like, you serious? There we go. There we go. Nicaea and Thebes falling in one turn, and Heliopolis will fall in the next one. So this is a huge turn for the Songhai. And with 29 turns to go, this is going to tip those scales definitely towards whoever comes in second place. This is pretty crazy, actually. But yeah, Mongolia probably going to just waltz in to Heliopolis next turn. Oh, sorry, Songhai. It's Mongolia's turn. That's why I got a bit confused there. But Thebes, that's a big blow. I mean, there's a chance this Great War Infantry takes it back. I'm not really sure, but it seems unlikely. They don't have any planes to help, so it's got to do it in that one attack. And even if they do, like next turn, it will just fall back again. Mongolia's air force definitely playing a role here, even though it's only 3 bombers, which isn't really that much compared to some of the air forces in the world. I know the Huns have probably got the biggest. They have lots of... I mean, actually, I take that back. Mongolia's is huge. They just don't use it in the wars they're actually fighting. They do actually have atomic bombs up here. Attila's just got his bombers, hoping they'll do enough. Should those two come to war, there's some more there. But yeah, Mongolia are not really bothered about using planes against Persia. They've just been like, yep, no, we don't need them. I mean, Persia's not fought back with too many, so that does make a bit of sense. Arabia, trying their best to crack on in. They're trying. This is a very brave effort from them. They are throwing everything at it. I'm not sure why. Like, there was other options for Arabia. Like, they could still attack Baghdad and probably grab it before the Songhai get there. Although now you border the Songhai even more, which will be a bit scary for you. I mean, okay, maybe there's not too many options for Arabia. They're like, wow, Japan. Look how many units they've managed to pack into their Indonesian cities. This is pretty going to be tough for someone to fight through. Although, actually, probably not through the boats, which is the issue. But yeah, Japan's definitely... when they took Indonesia, they seem to have stretched themselves too thin. But not anymore. Oh, and they've got Yamatos. Is that a unique boat for them? I don't know what it replaces. I would assume the battleship, but at the same time, I don't think... It's not ironclad, so I assume it's battleships or destroyers. But either way, that's pretty cool. That's something for this mod. I don't know. I think they do have... Did they have samurai? I don't know whether they still have the zeros or not. Maybe. They haven't got to them yet. I don't know. Or maybe they had the samurai and I just forgot about it. And there we go. The Kree do grab the Corral capital. Just one city to go. The city of Espero. It'll be a bit of a race. Brazil might actually have a chance here to sneak in with the cavalry if enough units die. But the Kree can obviously just hit the city. They're doing it very slowly with destroyers. Because the submarines can't actually do anything against cities, but there we go. And another capital fell. What happened? Lost their original capital. Ramses lost their original capital. What? He already lost it. Oh no, okay, the turns are just so long that it did happen in the same turn. I was very confused then. I was like, what? Another capital? But no, it was just the same one again. Not so big an issue. Here we go then. Egypt, are they going to take Thebes back? Not even for one turn. They couldn't even take Nicaea back with all their units focused on it. So this is going to be a pretty devastating turn. I imagine Heliopolis will fall. The war infantry will die, meaning Thebes will probably never return to Egypt. And I mean, probably a fair few of these units might perish as well. And then it's just Baghdad and Adrianople left in Africa for Egypt. That's a pretty scary prospect. I'm going to look away because it seems to slow down when I stare at what happens. Britain's still holding off the Iroquois. They've sort of forced them into France. It's a pretty weird place to have them, but this artillery battle will be quite interesting. See if they survive. Khan Attila, you're going to throw one more thing? I feel like him and Mongolia are just too scared of each other. I mean, not that Mongolia needs to be scared of Attila, but yeah, this suggests that. Yeah, I mean, there's not many units up here, so I guess it's the right place to have it. And there we go, Heliopolis does fall. And they did kill a few of those units. They put in some more reinforcements. It might fall once more just because the ironclad got left free. 2 shots from the frigates. But yeah, it won't last for very long. And there we go. Heliopolis. No real chance of taking that back either. Askia grabbing a lot of land. I mean, Thebes is at 20 population. I mean, these two not so much. I mean, it's at 8. That's good. But yeah, 20 in Thebes is fantastic. Baghdad will probably drop down to about 7. Adrianople 5. So that's not bad at all. He will have all of North Africa. I hope by turn 500, when I run the game that far, that we do just get like a huge sort of war for Africa between these final three. I mean, we know who would probably win in the end, but it would be a great struggle between the three of them. Until that point, I think the Zulu would put up a better fight than Egypt. Even though at the moment they are very spread out. Obviously, they've got a lot of territory to manage all of a sudden. They seem to be migrating. They're just like, actually, you know what? It's cooler up here in Spain. Let's all live here instead. I mean, couldn't blame them, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't been to this part of the world. I mean, I'm guessing it's fairly developed in this game. They've got railroads. But, maybe the weather's not always that great. Or just being eaten by lions and stuff. Not so cool. I don't know. I imagine that's pretty scary. How's the rainforest doing on that note? It's just a fun thing, topical thing to keep our eyes on. Not so good in this part. I mean, there's a little bit in this part of the world. Over here, you can still see some patches. But obviously, the fact that there's such a huge city here in Tikal has destroyed a lot of it. Rio as well hasn't helped. Sao Paulo's very close to this city. Actually, this area is South America again. It's all about highly populated areas. Here is very, in these sort of 5 cities, a massive amount. And I mean, you can stretch that out to Chichen Itza and across the mountains here. Where else is there a lot of rainforest? I think down here. A little bit left. Japan's not really destroyed some of it. There's a little, but yeah, Southeast Asia, if there was a lot here normally, it's definitely not anymore. World religion, Islam failed. That's a surprise. I thought it would pass. It's very popular religion in this game. I think it's probably gonna. It's definitely won, hasn't it? It's miles ahead. Egypt actually retook that city probably with the ironclad, like I said. But yeah, they'll lose it in a second. World religions, 93 now for Islam. That's impressive. 39 for Japan. That's still quite impressive. 31 for Protestantism. 21 Catholicism, 19 Judaism and Eastern Orthodox. I feel like every category in this game, like even obviously in like the macro, Mongolia has been number 1, miles ahead, and it's interesting to see the fight for second. It's kind of similar with this. Islam, miles ahead religion, but the rest of them, I mean, there's a bit more bigger gaps here, but they're all still, it's not like they've all been destroyed. I mean, obviously Sikhism didn't do too well, but the rest of them have all done, in a normal game, you'd say 19 cities, that's not bad. Good old Sikhism, Vienna holding strong. I don't think Russia doesn't really have a religion, so maybe Islam will take it out eventually, but even that is probably too far away. It's probably just going to be caught in a war between Catholicism and Islam eventually, and just end up staying a Sikh. There we go, Songhai did take it back, and this time, probably for good, and they've already got Baghdad surrounded. Not looking good for Ramses, and maybe someone will soon border the Ottomans, at least by sea, that is willing to take them out. And obviously with planes, Askia could definitely do that. His boats can't get in. I mean, this could be so much more scary for Egypt. If Zulu give the Songhai open borders, I mean, it would kind of be difficult because all these boats are in the way, but the Songhai could just come through. Just a second, guys. Okay, don't worry. Just someone putting a leaflet through the door. I was like, oh. It sounded like post, but not enough to be like someone putting post through the door. So I was like, what the heck is that? But just a leaf. Ooh, Tiller with a nuke. I think that's the first time we've seen that. Maybe. Just maybe. What's going on here? I know that Songhai has denounced Britain. They're not to be trusted. Yeah, Britain's not to be trusted as they are being invaded. Meanwhile, we invade Egypt. Yes, that's how it works. Persia has denounced the Corral. Okay, how are they doing? Okay, they're holding on. I think they must have destroyed whatever boat it was. Once these planes get nearer, that's when the Kree will obviously be able to take them, I guess, because they just can't fight back against planes. So that'll be quite interesting. But the Kree have plenty more stuff. They just have so many submarines. That would cause Mongolia issues in a war, I think. Obviously, Mongolia can deal with submarines. They have destroyers and stuff. Just a very advanced navy in general. But that's just painful. It's just annoying. Submarines can be annoying. Mongolia has a fair few, to be honest. I don't know if they have any nuclear subs. I imagine they could, in theory, have them. But they don't seem that bothered by them. It's obviously very hard to tell the difference. They look a bit different. Oh, Japan has... Oh no, we did notice Japan has planes. Okay, never mind. They're just older planes. The Great War Bombers. But at least it's something, right? They've got to start somewhere. I mean, Arabia doesn't have plains, and look at them. If they don't have oil either, then that sucks. That would hurt for them, I imagine. You know, they're supposed to have oil. They're Arabia. Like, half the world's oil is like here. Well, probably not half, actually. Just the most recent oil to be found is there. Maybe it's half. I don't know. Maybe, but I know there's a lot in Russia as well. I think there's a lot up here. There's a lot in Alaska, isn't there? So maybe they just used all that first. So that would make sense. Is this more cities? No. I think that's been there for a while. If he's just still settling, just, you know, causing the fact that he's run out of names to be an issue. I'm pretty sure that's probably like a Greek name. That's an Ottoman name. That was actually not his city. He conquered that, so we won't blame him for that one. Yeah, some of the city names. I mean, I'm unconvinced, kind of, because maybe there was just a city called a Cree city. That seems very unlikely if you look at the rest of the Cree city names. But yeah, the fact they've still been able to keep naming things, that's definitely a Songhai city, normally. I recognise that. I think it just seems Songhai-ish. Ujubumu. Okay, let's see. Great name. Big Stone. Who was naming these places? Like, well, oh yeah, we'll call this one Big Stone because there's a big stone here, and this one because it's let's just call it Ujibugumu because why not? Why not? That's a name no one will question ever in history when playing a thing called a video game. See, these Cree people, they just weren't prepared for the future. That's what it was. They weren't a future-proofed empire. They weren't ready to get memed on. And that's their fault, really. They should have been prepared. That's what I'm saying. The Iroquois are still here. Just, I don't really know why. They've had a very weird time. They're basically the Canada of this world, if the Cree are America, except they're much less important. Basically, the Cree are much more important. And then the Mexico is probably the Shoshone, right? They're all trying to run away from the Mongolian threat. They're trying to cross the mountains into the Cree borders, and the Cree have built a giant wall. So that was pretty... There you go. That's my analogy for that continent. I don't know what Mongolia are. They are the establishment of... They're like the Illuminati. They're just everywhere. That's what they can be the equivalent of. I don't really know. They're just the embodiment of them. And then everyone else can be whoever they want. I don't really care. Whatever. It's too hard to compare the rest of them. The rest of the world's not even... It's too much of a mess. I mean, South America, there's so many different civs that it kind of... You know, if you viewed them in isolation, it kind of looks like normal South America. You've got Brazil. That's a mess. Chile's a bit of a mess, but like this... Peru, maybe? Bolivia, or whoever it is down there. You've got little Venezuela's, Colombia's, the British, Dutch, French stuff. That stuff. I don't even know who owns it in modern times. I'm just thinking of Hoi 4. That's where I get all my history knowledge from. It's all good. Hearts of Iron 4 is a great source. Especially when you put mods in. That makes it all the more realistic, obviously. And this is, of course, the realistic AI-only battle, where realism is the most important thing. Somehow, Mongolia has still not managed to pull a huge tech lead. I think it's the increased tech costs of just having 3 times as many cities as anyone else, because they are making twice as much science as everyone else, so it doesn't really make sense. The Korea are in second with 66, just 2 behind. Persia's there on 65, 64 for the Songhai, Attila's 64 as well. Brazil is next at 60, that's surprising. The Inca 59, Shaka 59, Britain and Russia 59 as well. And the Shoshone. The Shoshone are ahead of the Iroquois. That is quite impressive. Because although the Shoshone have 3 cities that are fairly big, they're not, 22, 23, 18, 20. The Iroquois still has way more. So that must be a case of, I feel like you'll get punished a lot for having more cities. And obviously Mongolia, with 25, Jesus, look at that. Science output. Okay, the Korea just fell a little bit. Russia just grabbed the Manhattan Project, the background, but Mongolia is miles ahead. I don't know how their science fell. Don't know what the Korea did. Maybe they had what they called those projects. Research agreement ended. double production of everyone else. I don't want to spoil too much because obviously we're going to look at the end. I just want to have a look at the cities. Mongolia has 70, so that's that is going to be quite punishing. 41 for the Cree, 27 the Huns, Songhai 18, Zulu and Persia 16, Iroquois 10. So there must be about pushing for 200 cities in this world. Like, that is... Should we do the maths? It's Mongolia's turn, so nothing's going to happen, don't worry. They might grab a city and then lose it again. 70 plus 41 plus... Oh, Baghdad fell. Okay, that is pretty big. We'll go look at that in a second. We got to do this. Plus 16 twice. Plus 10, plus 9. We've already hit the 200 mark. Plus 9, plus 7, plus 6, plus 5. Plus 3 3s, so that's 9. Plus 4 for the 2 2s. And then plus 1. Is there any other ones? Oh, there's one more one. 249. So if one more city is settled, we will hit 250 cities. That is really ridiculous when you think about it. How crazy these games are. This one's probably been the worst. I've never seen this level of island grabbing from the Korean Mongolia. Mongolia's has kind of been more strategic. I think the Korea have just gone for every little tile they possibly can to try and catch up. And there it is. This might be the little dude that pulls us through. I don't know where he's going to go, by the way. I don't see any land. I mean, he could settle somewhere like here. Or maybe another part of New Zealand. Or just here. If you can get into that ring, which it doesn't look like. I love this, because like, this water is not really Mongolia's, but no one can use it, so it is Mongolia's. It will eventually fill up, obviously, as well. Oh, the land area. That must be terrifying. That is something I would love to see. They're so close to taking that city. I don't know how they've messed it up so badly. But there we go. Baghdad fell very quickly. And it looks like Egypt will be driven out of Africa. I think they'll be safe in Italy for now. And the Balkans, they'll probably get to survive up here. Just because the Songhai doesn't really have a Mediterranean navy. They have quite a bit in the Atlantic. But that cannot at the moment get in. Shaka is just sending more and more to Spain. Unless he sent this back. But it doesn't look like it. If he goes after Britain, that would be a genius level play. In fact, he might already be at war with Britain. It just doesn't look like it's going too well. The Iroquois force sort of died, but they seem to have given up. But yeah, look at this from Shaka. Not Shaka, Askia. He's not even throwing everything at this, and it's going very well for him. Now imagine this turn, Adrianople will fall. It'll be sad times for the Songhai. Oh wow, Persia has grabbed 2 new cities in the Antarctic, plus an island. Where did that come from? Like, how have they got 3 populations? They must be sending food here. Like that. There's no way they've done that without like a food cargo ship, which has probably been pillaged by Mongolia now, and now they're all starving horrifically. I don't know why Persia values this land. This one, I guess there's... Oh, the fish. That's probably how it grew to 3 population. Here there's pearls, which is a fairly good resource. Here there's fish. These, ow, I keep biting my side of my mouth. You know when you do it once and then you just keep doing it again? I don't know. That's what happened there. Oh, it really hurt. Nice. Love the taste of blood for the rest of the video. Oh wow. That was quick. Let's just see. The Songhai are probably good enough to take this in one turn. So we'll see how they do when it decides to load. Which is usually in about 10 seconds or so. Here we go. 10, 9. Oh, there we go. One turn. They hadn't even begun the siege last turn. And there we go. Egypt is driven out of North Africa. And they're actually going to commit units across the sea. They have the planes. Could work. It's going to be very painful. But yeah, this could actually work, to be honest. Will the Songhai get to Europe? Wow. That would give them a border with Russia as well. If they were to take control of the city of Graz. That could be interesting. Not looking good for the Zulu right now. They thought this was an escape from the Songhai, and now they're going to be almost surrounded by them. Not what they would have wanted at all. Come on, Attila. One last thing. What do you got in the tank? What do you got planned for us to finish this series? And I hope it's more than just like getting rid of India, because they deserve to make it to the end at this point. They've done nothing wrong. That would be a miracle if India gets the... Oh, they settled. This is new. That's kind of cool. Just inside the citadel as well. That looks really weird. I bet that gives it insane. I mean, 81 city defense, but I mean, I assume that's altered by all the planes. Actually, they just brought planes over here. These planes were all the way up against Mongolia previously. That is a potential sign. Maybe they're just trying to keep Mongolia on their toes, but potentially Byzantium, or maybe Egypt, I don't know. Just join in. The AI likes to do that. I could see this being an attack on... Ooh. They definitely went in that other citadel. Another citadel up here, north of this city, and they are one tile away. One more great general, which I assume they've got just sitting around somewhere. The AI would probably never do this, bear in mind, but I mean, Persia tried it. Something similar with this, which is pretty ridiculous. Persia now borders the Songhai. That's going to be quite tense. Not that much will get through there. And the Kree could not make it to the end. That is devastating. Why do you have nukes here, Kree? Like, that's just a bit much. You don't need that to take out the Corral. But yeah, sadly, the Corral will not be making it to the end of this series. The Kree doing the job. They also get a nice wonder in the process. Chiro de Potosi. Kind of bummed that this map does not have El Dorado. Luckily, the next map I use will do, which will be the map with the enlarged Europe and everything, for my Let's Play, which I don't know if I've announced in this series or not. I've been talking about some of the upcoming series and everything. When this is over, in 4 episodes, it's probably about a week or so, just over a week, we will be playing a TSL game as the country I'm staring at right now, Brazil. It's the last continent I've got to do in Civ 5 TSL, in theory. I've got to do Australia as well, but obviously there's limited options there. I might do Indonesia or something difficult. That's another... I don't know what city that was. Oh, Persia actually managed to retake Sri Lanka. Okay, that's an upset and a half. I can't believe they're holding on to this. But yeah, we're going to play as Brazil. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully we'll actually spawn on the coast for a start. We will try to get all the... thing is with Brazil now, it's kind of all the other mods are broken. It's so annoying. Argentina's not working anymore. I think Chile still works, so I'll put them in. But like Chile and the Inca on the other map spawned... I mean, the Inca only spawned here because I put the Corral in here, right? The Inca would have spawned here if not. I think. Or maybe it's just this map's a bit broke. But, you know, on the other map, the Inca will spawn here. And there's literally no competition for Brazil. So we've got to see if Argentina works again, hopefully. I'll try to update it or whatever. Maybe some of these mods just don't get updated anymore. That is one of the big things. Civ 5 is what? I don't know when it came out. I didn't play it at the start, so I'm not an expert on when it came out. I think it's like 10 years old now. It's 2010, maybe. Something like that. So that's pretty big. So yeah, people obviously Civ 6 is there now, so the mods might not be as frequently updated. They might break a bit more as other mods move on. This one doesn't. That sort of thing. So it should be a TSL game as Brazil. Assuming I can get an interesting amount of South Americans. And I was kind of going to go for like an idea. Maybe not try and not deforest anything. But I'm probably not going to do that. Because I'm not a good player. I can't be too picky. We got to make the most of that land. Plus this isn't Civ 6. The whole map isn't going to flood. We good. It's all fine. There's also going to be a Civ 6 Let's Play starting tomorrow. I'm just trying to work out, because I'm trying to do 2 episodes a day. Hopefully it won't fall apart. I actually said I was going to lower the time limit, or the length of the episodes, and I completely forgot about that. I'm probably not going to do it for this series, just because it will slow everything down too much. So I'm going to keep these at half an hour. In fact, the last one might have to be a little bit longer, just so that we don't have to have a random 10-minute episode or something to finish off. Finally, prayers answered. I needed something new to talk about. Whew, we get there in the end. Brazil versus the Inca with the help of the Kree. Even if the Kree just throw a little bit at them, a little bit of a distraction, maybe some plane attacks, it will give Brazil maybe finally the leg up they need. But I think Brazil are strong enough now. I said no info addicts, but I'm just going to try and find the stats on this one. Brazil, army, 367,000, Inca 360. This is very close. Yes, AI, you've heard my prayers. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Shaka, thank you. This is why I picked you to win. Shaka going after Britain. I wonder what he was up to. This could be interesting. This could push Britain to the edge. Okay, Kree. That's interesting. Whew. Kree versus Britain as well. I'm not sure they'll go after them, but there we go. I'm just hoping the Kree can, like, it's nothing against the Inca. I just really want to see something happen from these civs. And if the Cree give Brazil that little boost that can give them that advantage, which they should have by now, because the Inca only have 3 cities. Brazil have continued to expand from when they had 3. They now have 3 down here. They have Fortaleza. So they finally have some boats, not many, honestly. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, this is, I think, a smart move from Brazil. Focus on Chichen Itza, grab it as quickly as you possibly can, and then, try after the rest. Yeah, I was going to say the Civ 6 is Britain or the UK. That will hopefully be starting tomorrow, and there'll obviously be the Hoi 4 Italy series tomorrow as well, continuing. So yeah, we'll try it, but you'll probably see videos slowly decrease in length as I start to lose my sanity to about where we were before my exams, if you can remember 4 or 5 months ago, which was 2 22.5-minute episodes a day. So it'll be more than it is the 1 half-an-hour episode a day, but it probably won't be a full hour a day. So it won't, but yeah, it will probably slowly work down once I, like I said, lose my sanity. But that's going to be it for this one. As always, if you have enjoyed, do be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know who's going to win these wars. Is Britain going to survive? Is the Inca going to survive? And I'll see you in the next one.